It's never okay to fall asleep at your job, like when something like big happens. This is what happens in Red Oak, Iowa. On April 17th, 2011, a BNSF coal train departed at least. And however, the first one was stopping there. It was like at least, like with military trains in it. Only one locomotive was leading, which was 9470, because it was a lone. However, on the coal train, there were two engines leading and one on the DPU. The lead engine was BNSF 9159, and then 6133 trailing, and then 9226 was the DPU in the back. And however, the crew were still sleeping in. However, their speed was going like 20 miles per hour, and then they were on throttle 4. And however, the alerter was off. And however, like the crew were still like sleeping. However, there was trouble ahead. They got a little closer, and then, after that, they just smashed the back of the train, which is the lead one that was stopping. And we definitely know what happened here. And then, something terrible happened with the crew. However, the train slams into it, and of course, 9159's cab was definitely sheared off. However, 6133 survived the wreck, but with minor damage. However, both the engineer and conductor were fatally killed in the crash. Maybe because the engineer and conductor were like fatally sleeping there. Yeah, I know, right? Because it's too bad that they were killed. Yeah, I heard that already, Betsy. 9159 was repaired and turned to service. However, it was renumbered as 8749. The reason of it is unclear, because the two victims that died in the crash, and one of the family members decided to change that number because they did not like the number 9159, and they decided to renumber as 8749 instead. And however, it's just so sad that the two engineers of 9159 were killed. Or maybe they would mostly like to call it the BNSF 9159 incident. And of course, like it was like a few weeks after when I was born. And of course, if you want to look off here, maybe you could go ahead and go to my Facebook or Instagram. All of these links will be in the description, and also my YouTube channel. However, rest in peace to the two BNSF crew members that died. And of course, like something like this will never ever happen again. And of course, I made this documentary at high school. You did not want to know that already. So yeah, bye now.